I've failed so many times in my life, and I can't think of a single failure that made me worse. If I fail astronomically, if I crash and burn, I'll come back stronger. From the time I stepped into this space and trained for something endurance related, I was so captivated by the fact that it's the most you versus you area of sports that you could ever imagine. You have to buy in with every aspect of your life, from nutrition to sleep to training to even those who you surround yourself with to motivate yourself. My dad had cancer twice in his life. As a kid growing up with him suffering through things that you have no choice to suffer through, now I have an opportunity to choose my suffering and also make a difference in a place that means the world to me. Yeah, of course I'm scared to fail. I want to succeed, but if it happens, I'll probably wake up the next day and be the same person I was before. A year ago, I was a lot more worried about what other people thought of Liam. Today, I pretty much only focus on what Liam thinks of Liam. The necessary slow morning to bulletproof your body. This year, one of the big focuses is going to be prehabbing my body and bulletproofing my body instead of rehabbing injuries. My first prep, we had shin splints twice for a week off each time. So this year, whether it's 30 minutes stretching before every run or weekly physio sessions, we're gonna make sure that we don't run into rehab situations and instead replace that effort with prehab, which is gonna avoid us a lot of pain and let Juan hear me complain a lot less about my body. I'm Liam Hamlin, I'm 29 years old. I'm a runner, I suppose you would say now. At one point I was not, but now a lot of my life has kind of been redirected to causes that mean a lot to me. Well, I spent the last 2-3 years of my life, I applied to business school, did an MBA at Queen's, really good school, and was heading into consulting because I thought that's what my skill set was directing me towards, but maybe it wasn't what my passion was directing me towards. So I happened to stumble into the running space. One of my friends asked me if I wanted to run a half marathon. I had no experience running races before that, and next thing you know, with 3 weeks of prep, I ran a half marathon, loved it, great vibe, met awesome people. That kind of launched me into maybe a different headspace where I wanted to start maybe doing things for me instead of for who I thought I was supposed to be. From the time I stepped into this space and trained for something endurance related, I was so captivated by the fact that it's the most you versus you sport or area of sports that you could ever imagine. There's not one person who could do the work for you. Money can't make you a better runner. Maybe on race day you could get a better pair of running shoes, but it's not gonna do the training for you. And I just think there's a lot of areas in endurance sports that are such a good reflection of real life. The biggest change now is the length of time that you really have to commit to getting better at running or endurance sports in general is such a long timeline that you have to be really foresighted and not ever really just live for pleasures in the moment. So I think that's something I've had to adjust to a little bit. Like, it's not like going to the gym and getting a pump and you see, your best self every day in the gym. Like, you don't really see the results of running for months, maybe years down the road to accomplishing your goals.
One of the really exciting things about Chicago this year is last year I ran New York City, and it was really an opportunity to prove to myself that I was capable of hard things. I was kind of breaking into a new space, leaving the corporate world behind, trying something new, and really didn't know what I was capable of. And now that I've kind of cracked the can a little bit and opened this can of worms, I think this year going into Chicago is really going to be about showing myself and showing anyone else who's watching that regular people don't have to be regular. You can accomplish amazing things, and when trying to realize that normal people can accomplish extraordinary things, is that just taking action. The taking action aspect is always the hardest. You can be stuck in thought and planning mode for so long, and I know so many people who have wanted to do special things or wanted to step outside their comfort zone, but they just don't take the first step. And that was me for so long. Started putting myself out there, getting outside of my comfort zone, then things just started flowing, because without action, there is no result, and you need that catalyst to get moving. So without a doubt, the first step is the hardest, and it's gonna be hard the whole way through, but you can't get to where you wanna go if you don't start. So for me, that was the biggest challenge. The one thing that's really important to me as someone who likes to back a lot of things by science, probably too much so a lot of the time, is data. I really love my data. And one of the reasons that I want to implement the YASOs every few weeks in this training block is I'm going to look at my heart rate and speed data as we go through the year towards the race. And optimally, I would like to see some improvements in both of those as we get closer. So today's the first one. We're gonna see what the heart rate's at with the goal time in mind here. So we'll start a little slow, around like a 3:10 projected marathon pace for this one. So 3:10 per 800. And then as we work this workout through the rest of the prep, we'll get that all the way down to a 2:45 so that we can really hit that 2:50, 2:55 time when we actually run the marathon.
The thing I'm looking forward to most is having a little bit of an idea of what to expect. I know what it's going to feel like on race day now. Coming up, we have a big summer. Right now, for Chicago, 14 weeks out. End of July, we're running the San Francisco half marathon, which is, I think there's like over 1,000 feet of elevation gain in a half marathon, so that's going to be painful. September 10th, running the big half in London, and then we build into the last month of heavy work before Chicago on October 12th, where we're gonna run a sub 3-hour marathon. I think a 3:18 for my first marathon, and Chicago's also a much easier course in terms of elevation, so I should be able to get the pedal down a little bit.
Yeah, so it's done. Felt really good because that's the first track session in 6 months without pain.
Overarchingly, the most important thing to me here is I've set a way bigger goal for cancer fundraising, and I'd like to raise $20,000 Canadian for a Canadian charity as we prep for this race. That's going to be huge, and it would mean the world to me if we can get some special people together to make a difference for a cause that matters to me. The day after I ran the Toronto Spring Marathon last year, I realized instantly that this is something I wanted to pursue on a deeper level. I remember the Google search was hardest major marathon in the world, and the answer that came up was New York City, due to elevation, temperature at that time of year, various things. And I told myself I want to run the hardest marathon, and I want to smash it. I want to run it fast. Now that I've tried running, I want to do it well. So I sent out emails to some charities that meant something to me. And the main focus here was, I wanted to run a good marathon, but I also want to do it for a bigger reason. And that reason that I wanted to pursue was to support cancer research. My dad had cancer twice in his life, and it's been a big part of my journey. As a kid growing up with him, suffering through things that you have no choice to suffer through. Now I have an opportunity to choose my suffering and also make a difference in a place that means the world to me. Many, many people in the world don't have that luxury. I'm able-bodied. I'm in a place in my life where I can afford to take some time and do things that mean a lot to me and take time away from maybe, a traditional 9 to 5 to chase something that, means so much to me and where I feel like I can make a difference in other places. Being able to choose mine means the world. My dad didn't get to choose to suffer the way he did. That was decided for him. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. So mine is nowhere near that, but it is something that, I'm proud to be able to go through to make a difference. We are packing to run a little impromptu half marathon this weekend in San Francisco, California. 2 weeks into the block, we're gonna go run a half to test the fitness and see where we're at and make some cool content. I'm just so excited to be healthy for the first time in a long time, so we're gonna try to run a sub 130, which would be just kind of baseline-ish. 125 is the half marathon PR, but I don't think we're gonna touch that this weekend. We'll probably get 128, 129 would be a nice start, and then still have 12 weeks to build into a fast marathon. So I think anything under 130 I would be pleased with for right now. Got two options. Got the marathon shoe, Alpha Flies, or the Adios Pro 4s, which have been really good to me as well. They're speedy, but might be a game day decision. Let's see. We'd have to bring both. I'd say comfort, the Adios is more comfortable for my foot, and performance so far was the Alpha Fly, just simply because my half marathon and marathon PR are in Alpha Flies. So we'll see what game day brings, but these are the options right now. I think what I'm going to try to do for this race is kind of like a different strategy than I would for a flat race or a marathon. I think I'm going to try to go out hot. Yeah. Because I don't think energy is going to be a problem. I think more like leg fatigue is going to be a problem. So I'm going to go out hot, hold like that 125, 128 or half marathon pace for as long as I can. And if I run out of gas, then, you know, I'll take it as a learning opportunity, and you know, might finish above 130. But I think if I start like slower than a 130 pace, I'm not going to be able to make it back with the uphill. Yeah, is my thought, because the uphill is in like the second half of the race. So that's my plan.
When's your flight? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning, yeah.
Oh, tomorrow morning? Okay, what time's the race?
7:30 Sunday, so
Okay.
like 36 hours out.
Okay,
race.
and have you done a shakeout yet or no?
I was gonna do like a light treadmill run this evening.
Okay, then tomorrow you're just gonna...
And then when I get off the plane,
Yes.
I'm gonna run like 1K or something.
You think
It's
so?
super easy, just to move my legs.
Your shins were kind of something we were dealing with over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
How have they kind of like progressed? I know probably you haven't done anything intensive, but feeling it much or no?
Peroneal, zero pain
Okay,
whatsoever. The one thing I felt is what we talked about, this
Down the
area
ankle?
here,
I see.
ankle like mobility.
Yeah.
It could be because I did speed work, I'm not sure, but both sides a little bit, mostly the inside foot.
When did you do speed work?
Last week.
Okay, and when did you start feeling it?
I would say like more like a few days after the speed work.
I see.
So I don't know if it's related or if it's just because mileage is heavy now, like
Fair.
50K plus
I see.
a week.
Especially when coming from like barely doing much.
Yeah.
Okay, I think what we would benefit from now is doing a bit more of a tune-up.
Okay.
Getting into the hips and getting into the sort of entire posterior chain of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to go super deep with it, okay?
Sure.
I don't want a deep tissue sort of massage to it, but I want to be very specific with the areas we work on.
Yeah.
So right now we're just trying to work into the hip capsule itself, and I'm not getting into the joint, but I'm getting into the muscles around the area. So kind of where I'm working on right now is where it becomes an attachment point for a lot of the muscles of the hip. It's kind of around the greater trochanter, which is going to be where like his hip flexor, his TFL, aspects of his glute attach onto, and it becomes a hot spot with muscles that do end up becoming tighter, whether it's through means of running or through means of being a little bit more sedentary, such as sitting down. So when you're very inactive or very active, it's just an area where typically it will get a bit more restricted. So for us to actually work on it and kind of like work through it, we kind of have to apply a lot more pressure into it and work the actual muscles in a way where we're lengthening it and shortening it. So what I'm doing right now is I take him to hip flexion. Every time I do that, I apply a little bit more pressure in the area, then I ease off on it.
That is the most painful thing I've ever had at physio, and we do needling every week.
Yeah.
Wow. Instantly soaked in sweat from that.
Take this super easy, bro. You've done the work right now. It's just more a matter of not trying to set yourself back with regards to what overtraining could look like.
Yeah.
If you go for a shakeout run, not a bad idea.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Made it.
Got to pack up tonight, flying out, be at the airport tomorrow at about 7:30 in the morning, get to San Francisco for lunchtime, and then settle in at the hotel, get a lot of carbs in, and then we race early on Sunday at 7:30, and hopefully be done by about 8:50, an hour 20 later. Should be a pretty quick run today, 7K. Yeah. Just back from a US trip. We did the San Francisco half marathon last weekend and then went to Austin after that. So we did about 6 days in the States. First time in San Francisco. Ran the hardest half marathon I've ran so far in terms of elevation and conditions and whatnot. It was a beautiful day, but a lot of elevation, a lot of challenge. And it was great because we came out healthy and the body felt good. And of course, as soon as I start talking about being healthy, we get shin splints. So now we're running through shin splints, but that's life. I think almost everyone that's done prep has probably had some sort of injury at some point. At the end of the day, I honestly feel so lucky to be able to do this and to make it like almost kind of my full-time job right now is a bonus that as soon as I feel bad for myself a little bit, it's pretty easy to kind of snap your fingers and look at either where I was a year ago or how much worse other people have it surviving their day jobs or surviving whatever battles they have. And of course, got to bring it up again, is that there's a bigger reason that this build is happening, and that's to raise awareness and raise funds for cancer. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, running can suck sometimes, but it's a whole lot brighter than life can be on the other side. So that is going to be waking me up from bed every time, even if I hit the snooze once or twice.
The goal with kind of the summer training was to build fitness through a couple races and really put the body through some hard reps in race to get used to, you know, the nerves and everything like that, and mixed in some travel and some hard training. And London went really well. I was PR'd in my half marathon. I was planning on running a 125 and we ran a 122. So it was a 3.5 minute PR. Still felt like we had gas in the tank afterwards. So honestly, the fitness is in really good shape, and I've hit the most mileage I've ever hit in a week in my life. I've had the heaviest month of my life, and this week we're gonna hit 115 kilometers, which will also surpass the biggest kilometer week. So I'd say things are moving in the right direction and fitness is there. Just gotta finish the job and get through, but priorities have shifted a little bit since then, so we definitely have some catching up to do in that regard.
Today's long run day. We're doing 36, 26, 32. In the middle of nowhere, we're gonna run with horses today. Currently 4 weeks exactly out from Chicago, and it's time to put the pedal down. So let's get to work. This is my Frere Jacques. This is my friend Jared. And this is my friend Nicholas. And we're the three amigos.
We've spoken about, a big part of my drive to do all these events and, you know, improve my fitness and build a following is that I want to make an impact in areas that matter to me. And one of those areas is cancer research and cancer support of patients and things like that through fundraising, because my dad had cancer twice when he was younger. Funny enough, the way life kind of throws you curveballs, since the time we started building for Chicago, my dad has actually been re-diagnosed with cancer. He has prostate cancer this time, and it's quite advanced. So really changes kind of the way everything looks in my head when I'm building. Instead of kind of doing this fundraising for fun and, you know, in honor of things he's been through and a way to connect, I guess it's become a lot more real than that, because now I'm not doing something because it's happened in the past. I'm actually going through it with my family currently and watching someone I love go through the struggle that I'm working to make a difference to mend in this world. So it's deafeningly loud when you see the reality of me having a choice to do something hard that's really hard to me, and yet there's no comparison to what he's going to go through. That wasn't his choice. So I think even more so, it reinforces that in life we need to do hard things, because that's an opportunity for us to grow by choice. And if you don't choose, sometimes life's going to choose for you. So yeah, I guess that's it. Sunday, September 28th, I'm going to run 100 kilometers in support of cancer research for the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation here in Toronto. This was a foundation I've wanted to work with before. It's a Canadian foundation, does a lot of good work in research, and I figured what better way than to raise awareness and money for a cause that's so local to us, in concert with honoring my dad and showing him that, you know, there's such a big community behind not only him, but anyone who's going through this that's willing to support. And it's been incredible so far. We've already had over 70 people donate to the fundraiser in 4 days. Since the day my dad was diagnosed, like 3 weeks ago, I knew that I wanted to do something that would bring people together and would be able to make a difference and raise funds for cancer research. And I thought for a while about what is the hardest thing that I can fathom trying, and would have a high risk still of failure, but that I could power through and survive in honor of challenging myself for the greater good. And 100 kilometers to me is something that would be unfathomable a year ago. A marathon was unfathomable a year ago. The inherent challenge of 100 kilometers is it's big enough to get the attention that I want on the cause, while still being something that I know is humanly possible for me to achieve. And I'm so, so grateful to say this, is that I have incredible human beings around me that I already know are gonna have my back, are gonna be out there with me and doing this hard thing, you know, step in step with me. Hopefully we will have a great day for a great cause.